Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage ACT IAC Executive Director, Mr. Ken Allen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 23rd Annual Executive Leadership Conference. I've been waiting 2 years to welcome you. And 3 weeks ago, I thought I might have to wait a third. So an extra hearty welcome to this year's Executive Leadership Conference. As is our tradition, I'd like to ask you to stand as we play the national anthem, and then please remain standing as Ed Marr joins us.
Isn't that a beautiful flag? Ladies and gentlemen, it is a tradition that whenever we gather to celebrate, to enjoy ourselves, and we have men and women who are standing a watch and actually in combat as we sit here and stand here now. It's incumbent upon us to take a moment and remember them. And to conduct the Missing Man ceremony tonight, I'm really honored to introduce Brigadier General Tom Ragland.
Thank you, Ed. Tonight, like other nights, there are those who are not with us. These are the men and women who are defending our nation around the world. As we begin this conference, the Executive Leader Conference of 2013, we want to take a moment to remember those who are missing. Please stand or otherwise come to a position of attention. Our country is still at war. The men and women of our military are at their assigned posts. I would like to draw your attention to the table set here in front of you. The table set for one is small, symbolizing the loneliness we feel without them. The tablecloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their intentions and their willingness to respond to their country's call to arms. The single rose in the vase reminds us of the families and loved ones of our comrades in arms who keep the faith, awaiting their return. The black ribbon on the candle reminds us of those who will not be coming home. there is salt upon the bread plate too, symbolic of the river of tears shed by families and loved ones for sons, daughters, mothers, fathers. The glass is inverted. They cannot toast with us this night. The chair is empty. They are not here. Our lives are incomplete because they are not here to sit with us tonight. They are still there for us. We are still here for all of them. In honoring them, each of them, all of them, we stand silently and face their table, the table where they should be sitting with us tonight. We stand silently in their absence. Please, raise your glass in a toast. To the men and women of the United States military, especially those serving in harm's way in Afghanistan and around the world. Hooah!
Now, please welcome to the stage the chairs of the 2012 Executive Leadership Conference, Casey Coleman and Ted Davies.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Casey Coleman, and I was the government chair for the 2012 Executive Leadership Conference.
Hi, and I'm Ted Davies, and I had the honor of being the industry chair of the 2012 conference. Unfortunately, you may not remember that conference because we quite frankly never got it off the ground. Hurricane Sandy washed us out.
That's right, Ted. I can still remember that Sunday evening from last year, hours away from opening the conference. People were starting to arrive. Unfortunately, it was clear that the hurricane was going to arrive before most of the attendees, so we had to cancel. We're grateful that everyone made it home safely, but we're sorry that you didn't have a chance to experience the great program that we spent a year putting together.
I'll tell you what, there was an even bigger loss, though, because we did not have the opportunity to be able to give our half-an-hour speeches that we had prepared. So we're lucky because we're ready to go with those tonight.
Stage.
Unfortunately, the planning committee would not allow us to do that.
However, they did allow us to open the evening and to welcome you to the 2013 Executive Leadership Conference. So on behalf of both Ted and myself, we welcome you to Williamsburg and to ELC. And we would now like to invite ACT President Rick Holgate and IAC Chair Jim Williams to the podium.
Well, good evening. My name is Rick Holgate, and I'm the president of the American Council for Technology. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the 23rd Annual Executive Leadership Conference.
Hi, I'm Jim Williams, the chair of the Industry Advisory Council. Before we begin tonight, we want to acknowledge and thank Casey and Ted and their entire planning committee for all the work that they put into last year's event. We would also like to present Casey and Ted with the ACT-IAC Distinguished Leadership Award. Please join us in thanking them.
one footnote to last year's ELC. It didn't all wash away. We were able to repurpose much of the content and offer it as programs and forums in the Washington, D.C. area earlier this year. We even had a very successful collaborative session for a number of senior executives from government and industry. We applied the theory of agile development, if you will, to conference planning. But now we turn to the 2013 ELC. While we didn't have to deal with Mother Nature this year, the path to Williamsburg has been a little rocky, especially over the past month. But we are here, so welcome. We want to begin by recognizing our conference chairs, Margie Graves and Paul Strasser. Over the past year, they have spent many, and I do mean many, hours putting this program together. They were joined in this endeavor by an outstanding planning committee and an exceptional professional staff. I'd like these folks to stand so we can thank all of them.
We also want to thank our sponsors. Without our sponsor support, we would not be able to put on ELC or undertake many of our other valuable activities. We know that these companies make choices on where to invest their resources, and we appreciate their support and investment in the ACT-IAC mission. All the sponsors are listed in your program and at various locations throughout the conference. While we don't have time to thank all the sponsors from this podium, there are a few that we would like to recognize. As I call your company's name, I invite everyone from that company to stand and be recognized. Our Gigabyte sponsors are companies that have stepped up to support the entire range of ACT-IAC activities throughout the entire year. Our large business Gigabyte sponsors are Accenture, please rise, and CenturyLink. Our small business Gigabyte sponsors are Aegis, Infosys, and Saudi Solutions. Will everyone from this company please stand? I also would like to introduce our ELC Platinum sponsors. Please stand as I say your company's name. AT&T, CGI, General Dynamics, HP, ICF, Lockheed Martin, OpenText, Sage, SAP, and Unisys. Thank you. Our media partners also provide significant support for ACT-IAC throughout the year. These partners really do a valuable service for ACT-IAC, and please stand as I say our partners' names. 1105 Media Group, Federal News Radio, FedScoop, Fierce Government, Government Executive, and NextGov. Please join me in thanking these and all of our sponsors. Again, this 23rd Annual Executive Leadership Conference does not happen without them. I also want to acknowledge another group of folks who make this and all of our other events possible. These are our sponsorship ambassadors. If you don't know them, these ambassadors are IAC members like you who have volunteered to reach out to their fellow IAC members to help obtain sponsorship support for our many activities throughout the year. I'd like all of our ambassadors to stand and be recognized.
So I think, as you all know, this is an exciting time for our community and for ACT-IAC. Over the past year, there have been, and are continuing to be, a number of changes and investments that we make as an organization. Rather than talking about them, we would like to show you a brief video, and in particular, since you don't see enough of Jim and me, you'll see us in the video as well. Hi, I'm Rick Holgate. I'm the president of the American Council for Technology, and I'm here with my colleague Jim Williams, who's the chair of the Industry Advisory Council. And we're here to talk about some of the recent advancements that we've made and investments that we've made in ACT-IAC as an organization.
This is an organization that was created many years ago to help government better leverage technology to make sure our government was more effective, more efficient, and more innovative. And we need that now more than ever.
One of the most visible changes and investments you'll notice is our new logo. We updated our logo
By crowdsourcing, going out to the ACT-IAC members saying, give us your best ideas for a new logo. And that process resulted in many of you all submitting in entries. And I want to give a particular shout out to the winner. That is Renee Ramos, the creative director for Leapfrog Solutions. Way to go, Renee. We all love the logo.
Some of the other things that you'll notice that we've invested in as an organization include our new website or our new collaborative platform that's really designed to enable all of our community, all of our membership to collaborate much more seamlessly, much more effectively when they can't be together physically.
Please experience it. Go on it, surf through it, try it out, and I think you'll find that it's an incredible new set of tools.
We also have new office space as an organization. So for those of you who actually can join us physically, we have great new space where we can come together and collaborate in person. And we've also added the technology to allow folks to participate remotely as well.
And what we ask of you is experience this office and this center. Come here, make it your home. This is part of our community.
So that, again, lowers the barrier to participation in the organization and really enhances our ability to come together as a community across government and industry. So some important investments to really enable us to work together much more seamlessly and much more effectively. And all of those collaborative efforts are unified around our new strategic plan.
Because we were created to improve government. And I think the strategic plan, more than ever, aligns us with the key government challenges that we have this year.
The first being planning, management, and delivery of information technology to support the mission of government. Second being secure sharing and safeguarding of information. The third being innovation in digital government. And fourth, but certainly not least, evolving the workforce.
And how do we accomplish those? We accomplish those in a new way by leveraging all of the different activities from ACT-IAC. And you think about our activities like the shared interest groups where so many people are doing such valuable work.
Certainly the Voyagers and the Partners programs provide unique opportunities for government and industry to develop collectively and collaboratively across organizational boundaries.
Think about our professional development and our training plans.
To that set of development activities, we've recently added associates to allow participation by more junior members of government and industry. And we're also looking in the next year or so to add a more senior level educational opportunity aimed more at executives.
As well as the new Institute for Innovation, which is taking on some of the largest and biggest challenges in government.
Another exciting opportunity just recently is that ACT-IAC has been granted the ability to issue continuing education units. So now those of you who participate in ACT-IAC educational activities can also earn CEUs.
As well as the fourth part of our activity, our events. Things like ELC and our Acquisition Excellence Conference coming up next year.
And lastly, I need to emphasize the importance of what we do together as a community between government and industry. It's a volunteer community. It's very much dependent on the commitment of our membership. And I need to express my gratitude for all of the volunteer members who, not just this year, but for the last 25 to 35 years, have come together to really work together on this issue of how do we make government better? How do we advance the mission of government? How do we advance the ability of government to conduct its mission through whatever means possible, whether that's through the use of technology, the use of better processes, or even just thinking differently about how we solve problems as a government.
I have always believed that we are the greatest country in the history of the world. And what makes us great is the fact that we have a great government. And that doesn't happen by accident. And improving that government is something that Americans always expect of us. That we will make that government more effective, more efficient, more innovative, and better serve the American people. It's what they want of us, it's why we're here, and I would encourage you all to get engaged. Thank you.
Well, thank you. You'll have a chance to learn more about these and other exciting developments during the next 2 days.
Before we let you eat dinner, Before we begin dinner, there's one more topic we want to mention. Over the last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of national attention paid to the role of information technology in facilitating government's mission. Unfortunately, that attention has not been positive. And I'm raising this issue because helping government better leverage technology to improve government is why we are here. We understand what it takes to implement a major IT system in the government or any large organization. And there are always many challenges on all sides: software development, code reuse, the roles and capabilities necessary for overall integration, adequate testing, and dealing with legacy systems. And I'm reminded of the old saying that God created the earth in 6 days, but he did not have to deal with legacy systems. And most of you all know full well the challenges associated with these kinds of large-scale IT efforts. In this case, the initial deployment has not gone smoothly, and there are lessons to be learned here. This kind of scenario is exactly why we are here, to engage in trusted, open collaborations that help us to learn and ensure we work together to make these efforts successful for the American people. We are the leaders of the government IT community, from government and industry, and we are in this together. I also know that the people in this room are dedicated to a vision of a more effective, efficient, and innovative government, and I know that the people in this room are committed to doing their best at all times. If we're going to achieve that vision of a better government, we need to work together. We have the next 2 days available to collaborate on how to make things better, to create outcomes that better serve America's interests. That is the purpose of ACT-IAC. Let us use this opportunity well. Please enjoy dinner, and we will be back with you as dinner is served. Thank you.